Welcome everyone to today's video. We're the Dimitrov Boulay Piano Duo. My name is Dimitri Dimitrov.
And my name is Elvira Boulay.
And Happy New Year! Happy New 2023. We wish you all the best during this year, and most of all that you all are as healthy as possible because that's extremely important. We were thinking what to talk about in this video, and we thought that perhaps we can touch a little bit on topic of New Year's resolutions, since a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. And I don't know what Elvira thinks about them, but I have kind of mixed feelings about New Year's resolutions. On one hand, I find them to be something wonderful. You resolve to do something, you decide to do something during the year. On the other hand, I find them a little bit dangerous in a way, because you might decide to do something, and then if it doesn't work when life gets on the way, you might give up and wait till 2024, which is not very handy.
Yeah, I do have my doubts that it would work. And as I was sitting on the couch, I actually saw some runners running by that I've never seen before, because I know the runners in the area, and I was thinking about this New Year's resolutions, and do they ever work?
I think it depends on the person. They could work. That's why I have mixed feelings. I think they do work, and I think it can really, you can transform something about your life. So I'm not, who am I to say they don't work? For some people they do. But we speak from personal experience. For me, I wanted in this video to mention that in general life gets on the way, and very often things would happen, and it is very likely that you might not keep up with your New Year's resolution, and you might give up. And I think that it's important to learn to make resolutions all year round, and make resolutions in your life in general to decide to do things. Because if you just wait for those special occasions of birthday, or or turning 20, 30, or whatever, 40, or New Year's resolution.
What do you think actually is so attractive about this kind of thing, like waiting until a certain moment?
It feels very special. I think it feels like a big thing. It's like the 1st of January. It's like a clean slate.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people do that. In the past, I've done the same.
Yeah, I've done I think every year except this year.
One of the most important things I think you need to learn, and perhaps to resolve to do from the 1st of January, is to forgive yourself if you don't keep up with something. Because life really gets on the way. Life really throws at you different things, and it's never perfect. You don't have the perfect circumstances or the perfect conditions. Things happen, and so you have to be able to forgive yourself if something doesn't work. And that, I connect that to being able to make again resolutions during the year if something happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see it.
I think that self-criticism can be crippling, and I think that if you in the first few weeks keep to the resolutions, and after that something gets in the way, like you say, life gets in the way, I think that's not a big deal, and you should just resolve your resolutions. But unfortunately, we're so hard on ourselves usually that the criticism is so crippling that we just give up and wait for the next big moment. Yeah.
Exactly, because if you forgive, you'll be able to continue. Also, it doesn't feel ideal, I think, because you mentioned why is it that New Year or birthday or whatever. I think it's because if you don't succeed, it doesn't feel neat anymore. It doesn't feel like you have that clean slate. It feels like you polluted your resolution. It's messy.
It's messy, yeah.
I didn't succeed again, whatever, at some point. And then it comes this brilliant moment of New Year. You feel happy, family around, and nice times, and you feel uplifted, and you take this amazing resolution. That's why I think very often people do that. But hey, if it works for you, of course, feel free to do it. It's all about what works for you. One of the points that I made before we started the video was that people make way too big resolutions. I think that's one problem, and I think that causes very often you to give up, to fail, to feel like you can't keep up. So I think that, again, this is a personal, of course, opinion, that I've learned through experience that you should make small resolutions and not too big. Now again, if you can keep up with some huge resolution like this year I'm going to work out 7 days a week from -7, or I'm going to practice 2 hours a day piano. If you can keep this up, I think it's wonderful.
Because there are people, don't get us wrong, there are people who can do that. It's just, I would say it's more common, and also in our experience, it works better if you take small bites. But like Dimitar said, whatever works for you is just more common. I think that
Much more common
much
it is that you would give up, or that something would happen, you would get distracted. Also, it's the feeling. You might say that you would work out 7 days a week, or you would practice 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, but then you would have those days where you practice only 15 minutes, and then you feel like a failure, and that's where the forgiveness comes into play, and that's where also, in my opinion, the planning and making resolutions that are a little bit more simpler to keep comes handy, because you feel much more uplifted, much more powerful, much stronger, capable if you make a resolution that you can keep up and that you can keep on doing every single day throughout the year, and that you're much less likely to give up on. Because at the end of the day, I think that succeeding to keep up with your promise to yourself builds character, confidence, resilience. So you want those traits. And when you promise yourself to do something that you can't keep up, that something happens and you can't keep up, that builds the opposite. You start feeling incapable, you start feeling that you're a failure, you start feeling that it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but again, it gives a negative feedback, and I think a positive feedback is very, very important. And so, yeah, I think that if you say to yourself, hey, I'm going to practice 50, this 2023, I'm going to every single day have a minimum of 15-minute practice, 15 minutes practice, you're very likely to succeed doing that, and that's going to give you so much confidence and ambition, and it's going to give you energy, and you're very likely that you'll practice much more than that. But if you say 1 hour, you might have...
And then you fail sometimes.
Yeah, then you might feel like you want to just stop altogether. Anyway, I think those were my points, and I think the bottom line is that you can keep up whatever you decide to do. So think about that. Think about what you've done till now, not in a judgmental way, but like if you never work out, if you eat terrible, if you have a very unhealthy lifestyle, if you don't practice at all, or you're very scattered with your practice, be honest about those things without judgments, because you have to be honest, and then think of what is realistic for me to do. Everything is realistic, but you have to decide for yourself, can you really, in your life experience till now, what is the pattern? Like we said, there are people that very often succeed doing amazing transformations. If you're one of those that has done these kind of transformations, you can. But if you very often see that you fail, why not try something simple? Why not try something...
Instead of judging yourself that you can't. Like, I don't judge myself that I can't take things like a huge, how do you call it, a transformation. I don't judge myself for that. I like taking it easy. I like taking it with small steps. And I think that's key. Because especially nowadays with social media, with all these like big transformations and examples that we're seeing, it's so easy to say, what's wrong with me that I can't wake up at 5 and like start practicing piano 2 hours a day. Why do these other people are able to do that and I can't? Just to accept yourself, enjoy your life. And if it works for you small, I promise, I guarantee that's going to work for you, and that's going to work amazing.
Yeah, rather than make a resolution to practice like a maniac, or eat like a maniac healthy, or exercise like a maniac, why not resolve to love yourself a little bit more? Why not resolve to be a little bit nicer to yourself and understand how you work, how you function, and then you will be able to adjust everything in your life according to who you are, and everything is going to work for you. But anyway, we believe that in general, like, that's why you have certain lifespan. I think if you learn to use every day, you're going to accomplish a lot. And that's when it's not necessary to make some insane resolutions, because if every day you make every day count, with small steps you will build and you will become a person who is unrecognizable. So yeah, I have nothing else to say.
No, I think that we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at this. And again, we wish you a very, very successful, very healthy, first of all, and very successful 2023. very happy and grateful to each one of you who subscribed to our channel and is following us also on Facebook and Instagram. We will continue uploading videos this year.
Absolutely.
And
Even though we haven't talked about piano today, of course, that doesn't mean that you should go and watch videos on YouTube all the day. Don't forget to practice at least your 15 minutes, right?
Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video for us. As always, recording this video for you was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week again.